And we live. What's good with the fam? Good morning. It's your guy B3Picks. I'm out and about moving around right now. I'm off Laburnum. Just had to pick up, a special package. But we moving around, man. Y'all see what the live is about today. Where's Al Heyman, the great Al Heyman? The guy that's put on great music events, boxing events over the years since the 80s. Also, uh, the advisor for the PBC, well, pretty much the founder of the PBC, but also the advisor for Errol Spence, Charlo, Tank Davis, Deontay Wilder. So a lot of great fighters on the PBC roster. PBC needs to have a lot of events for the boxing fans. We always look forward to the PBC events, but I mean, as we can see, it's limited right now. We haven't seen Errol Spence in 2 years. The Tank Davis Lamont Roach rematch will not be happening in August. Where's Al Heyman? Where is the great Al Heyman pushing the sport forward, giving us the best fights? We just came off of seeing uh, Barrios versus Pacquiao. Salute to my brother Juan in the building. We just got off seeing Barrios versus Pacquiao. Oh, let me share the link. I forgot to share the stream y'all to my brothers. Hold on real quick. Let me get that going. But we didn't get we got Barrios Pac-Man as a main event. Now, none of us was asking for Pacquiao to return. Pacquiao was out of the ring for 4 years, and he got that Barrios title shot. That was nasty work. um the public, the fans did not agree with that decision. But we see the fight, how the fight played out. It was Barrios really didn't let his hands go. It looked like he didn't want to hurt Pac-Man. He gave Pac-Man a lot of respect, a whole lot of respect in that fight. So man, Louis Decubas Jr. is at the helm. He's pretty much moving and stepping and running the PBC. Shout out to Louis Decubas. He's a young guy, a very smart, intelligent guy, but he's also a manager. He manages Barrios amongst other fighters. So as we can see, Barrios has fought Tank, he's fought Thurman, he's fought Ugas, now he's fought Pacquiao. He's fought so many times, but yet we see so much in that inactivity with other fighters on Premier Boxing Champions. So salute to my brother Justin James in the building. I appreciate you. Um it Time and time again, we always complain about PBC fighters inactivity, not giving the fans multiple dates, multiple appearances a year. So that's got to change. So that's why the question is, where Al Heyman? I'm gonna let my brothers come in. I just dropped the link, so anybody come in. We're gonna work this morning. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate y'all. But the big question I'm asking y'all is, do we see Errol Spence back in 2025? He's been training. He's keeping his weight down. Do we see Errol back? Also, do we see Tank Davis in 2025? Now, as we know, Tank is dealing with a bit of legal issues with the Father's Day situation with his the custody, transferring of the children. Him and there was an altercation that Tank Davis has to answer for. Now he will have a hearing tomorrow, July 29th, from what I'm hearing. So we need to just be in prayer for the brother. He needs help, not prison. He definitely needs our support, the support of the judicial system and the process as well. We don't. Everybody makes mistakes. We don't need to be condemned and reprimanded to the end of time. There has to be accountability, but we also have to have grace. I believe in that wholeheartedly. So Definitely, we need to be praying for the young champ and his, return to his family first and foremost, but then secondly to the sport of boxing, so we can get the fights that we've been looking for. We still haven't got Tank versus Shakur. We never got Tank versus Devin, Tank versus Tio. We still need these matchups. These matchups are paramount to the growth of the sport, and Tank said they still on his list. So I believe Tank is 30 now. He's still in his prime. I still think he has a lot to give to the sport of boxing. Now, for Errol Spence Jr., he's taken a lot of punishment to his body with the car accidents, with his retina damage, and ultimately he did have a brutal, tough fight with Terrence Crawford. I think that is the least of his concern due to the fact that the car accident broke his jaw, or broke some teeth in his mouth, knocked out teeth in his mouth. He was thrown from the car. So that definitely took damage to his body. And, he came back from that. Outside of that, salute to my brother CDK. Outside of that, we do see the fact that he still has the will to fight. He still speaks about coming back to the sport, and I mean, we need Errol Spence Jr. Where the boxing is the void of the top tier superstars. We need guys like Errol Spence Jr., fighters like Tank Davis, consistently active. And please smash the like button. I appreciate my brothers in the building. We need Errol Spence. We need Tank Davis to remain active. We need them on a consistent boxing schedule. We're hoping that we can get a PBC top rank type of situation with Prime Video. Maybe they'll do consistent events together where we get matchups from PBC fighters and top rank fighters. Salute to my brother Marky Dan in the building. Appreciate everybody that came in and everybody hit the like button. And please, I sent the link to my brothers. Turn up with me, so I can come off screen and then I can let y'all cook for a little bit. Well, salute and thank y'all for coming in the building. Now, and y'all gotta answer the question. If y'all just gonna be in the live and y'all not jumping on, y'all gotta answer me this. Do we see Errol Spence Jr. back in 2025? Do we see the truth back? The big fish, the biggest? Yeah, I just sent it. One. I just sent the link. Let me see. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, I sent it. I just sent it to the content creators chat. Yep, so it's in there. So definitely hit the link, my brother Juan. Because I really want. Justin James said he hopes so. Um, Justin, I hope so. Our brothers, Jay Hardcore, some of my our brothers that been around watching the sport of boxing for a long time. They do not want to see Errol Spence back. They want him to rest and enjoy his family. He's given a lot of years, a lot of wear and tear to the sport of boxing, but at the end of the day, he's a warrior, he's a competitor, and he wants to make that chicken. So I definitely expect to see Errol Spence back, hopefully versus Keith Thurman. Now our brother Marky Dan, he says no, just flat out, he do not want to see Errol back. um I'm pretty sure he wants Errol to enjoy his family and enjoy his land, and his wildlife. He got horses and chickens. His daughters, they're doing soccer. So he's enjoying his family. He's building up his support system there and making sure that they are, uh, building their abilities and having fun. So Errol definitely, he's been on a beach. He's been chilling. So a lot of people feel like he should stay right there and relax himself. Our brother Marky said, Errol Spence will get put in a body bag with his big toe sticking out. Mm-mm-mm. Terrible. And moved by Thurman. I mean, who is by anybody, Marky, or jump on the stage, Marky, by anybody, or what you thinking? Just Bakram. Who you thinking? Janabek. I mean, who you thinking gonna put him in a body bag? Because we talking about the truth here. We talking about unified champ here. Come on now. We talking about Mr. The body snatcher, the rib breaker. You know what I'm saying? The eye collector. Don't 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 act like you don't know, Marky. Salute to my brother D Free in the building. Appreciate you, D Free. How my audio coming through, Free? You on mute right now, Free?
You good?
Good.
You good?
Okay. Appreciate you, Free. Yeah, so I woke up today and I was like, what's a good topic? Tank Davis, he definitely has his hearing tomorrow, so I'm wishing him well with that. Of course, we're not gonna get the August 16th date. Let me ask you, let me start with this and we'll let me start with Tank and I'll bring it back around to Errol. What do you expect to see Tank Davis back in the ring in 2025, Free?
Uh, it's hard to say. I don't know what the judge is going to say when he has his court case tomorrow. Because he is on probation, she could just go ahead and violate him. Um, and say you have to sit in jail until we see what the outcome of the case is. Or she could just say you because you got arrested, you're gonna spend the rest of your probation behind bars. So I don't know if we would. I mean, it would be great to see him back in 2025. But I don't know how things gonna go. I mean, and then you gotta take into consideration what is his mental like, being though he's going through this all over again. Um, is he gonna be mentally ready to fight by the end of this year? Because we know he's probably not gonna fight within the next month or two. So is he gonna be mentally prepared to fight by the end of this year? So I don't know how his mental is going to be, even if he does walk out of court tomorrow. Um, so I really don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in. But hey, as we know, Free, for every mistake, there's a consequence. For every action, there's a consequence, and
Yeah,
for your mistakes in life, you're gonna pay. There's gonna be a cost. Um,
right.
Now let me ask you this. Now with Errol Spence, we've seen him training. I'm sure you've seen pictures of Errol. He's definitely keeping his weight down, which is good. Do you expect to see Errol Spence back in the ring in 2025?
There's rumors of him coming back. But the thing is, who is he coming back to fight? Um, we know he's not fighting Sebastian right now. Sebastian just got out of a fight, so most likely he probably not going to be fighting Sebastian. Um, he's not going to be fighting Tim Tszyu. Uh, could it be a Keith Thurman fight? Could they have finally talked him into fighting Keith Thurman? You've been out of the ring for 2 years. You're making a comeback. Let's get you in there with Keith Thurman. Possibly. Um, I, I don't know if he. I mean, it all depends on who he comes back. Because if Earl is the same Earl, he don't want no tune-up, then he's going to fight a tough competition coming back. And I'm trying to figure out who would it be that he will fight, and what weight class is he coming back to? Is he coming back at 54? Or is he coming back at 60? Because we
Yeah,
know he's not coming back at 47.
nah, there's no point. So I'm in full agreement with you, Frida. A couple of matchups I do like for Errol Spence in his return. If it's going to be 160, I do think the Carlos Adames fight is a winnable fight for Errol. Now off a layoff with no tune-up, that's going to be the issue. Whether or not he's going to be able to be, at top form. I don't believe he'll be at top form without a tune up. Let me just say this. Let me say that without a now, if Earl's mind 100% healthy, Earl, he may feel like Adamas is a tune up. You know what I'm saying? Adamas hasn't shown devastating power, but he is a top tier. He is a top fighter. Now, let me ask you this. Let me give you one other matchup. If he's going to come back at 54, I think the kid Yoenis Teles, I think that's a fire fight, him and Errol. Um, I don't want to see him right off the back against Bakram. I don't think that makes sense. But Yeah, stylistically, I wouldn't want to see him against Bakram. I would want to see him against
Well,
Telez or Adames.
no, I don't think he's going to fight the background. I got word last night that the Lubin background fight has been ordered. So
Nice.
I mean, that's a rumor. I didn't see no
I've seen that free.
official.
I've
You
seen
saw
that
it.
too. I've seen that as well.
I was
Free.
actually going to
Okay.
say Eric's.
Free went out on me, everybody, but he's still with us. We
We are. I don't know. Jesus Ramos.
Yeah. Hey, Free fell off. Y'all see he's moving around. He's driving, but we appreciate Free coming on. Salute to the family, Tim Layton. Let me see here. Let me see. I got okay. I think Free back. All right. Okay,
Yeah,
Free's
my bad.
back.
My bad.
No, you good, fam?
Yeah, I was saying Jesus Ramos, but he's not a big name, but he's a solid name. So I mean, Earl
Yes.
might look at him as a tune-up as well. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody really. I mean, he's not going to fight no Virgil. He's not going to fight Jerron Bucenis. I mean, I don't know. I really don't
Right.
think he's coming back in 2025. I think he might come back next year.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, Free. Al Heyman, right? And I put where's Al on the thumbnail because as we can see, um, well, personally, from my hearings, Louis Decubas Jr. is really kind of the being the front man, so to speak, for Al right now behind the scenes. He's a great, phenomenal manager, but so that's somewhat of a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna put his guy, he got to put his guys in fights. You know, like or he that's how he gets paid. So he manages Mario Barrios, and we've seen Barrios get numerous opportunities. It's funny. Now, of course, I'm sure Barrios' guaranteed purse is nothing. Is not on the level of an Errol Spence, so it's easy to get Mario Barrios in fights. With that being said, let me ask you this, Free. And we've seen a lot of inactivity with PBC fighters over the years. Are you concerned with the scheduling with PBC or like the available, like even with the fact that they had Pac-Man come back to fight Barrios? Are you worried about them giving us the fights we want to see moving forward?
No, I mean it ain't them giving us the fights. It's these fighters gotta
Mm,
want these fights.
yep.
And the fighters, I mean, we hear all the time that they try to make fights and fighters are not accepting offers. So I don't put that on PBC because PBC don't run these fighters. They're just the promotional brand that these fighters are under,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't run these fighters. I mean, these fighters under PBC are 1099 fighters. They pretty much run their career their own self. It's them and their managers. Al Heyman is the advisor. He would advise you to do some certain things, but he doesn't run your career. You run your career the way you want to run it. That's the reason why Gary Russell only fought once a year because he only wanted to fight the champions. If he couldn't fight them, he was only fighting a mandatory. They can't force nobody to fight anybody. These guys make their own decisions.
Now, 100%. Now let me. So outside of that, uh we definitely are looking forward to like the end of the year boxing schedule. I know we have Canelo Bud in September 13th, and then we have Devin versus Brian Norman Jr. November 22nd with Benavidez and Abdullah Mason and Bam on that card. Possibly Sabril. Is there, let me ask you, Free, are there any fight announcements or any fighters that you kind of looking to see like what's next for them?
Um, Jerron Bucenis. I want to
Yeah.
know what's next for him.
Hmm. And
Um,
let me just say this: he did just
and
re-sign with Matchroom, so that was a good thing.
I mean, it's good if you believe Matchroom was moving him the right direction. Um, Me personally, if somebody is constantly saying something opposite of what I'm saying, I'm not re-signing him. He don't have the same interest that I have. I'm not. I'm not. If I say this company, this company it got my best interest at heart, and I'm moving in the right direction. And the company said, hey, he needs a lot of work. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to stay with this company. I'm like, I thought everything was good. Why are you saying something opposite of what I'm saying? I'm not doing that because I mean he's saying that these fights wasn't offered to him, and Eddie Hearn turned around saying, yeah, Jerron Buzinis was offered to fight, but he just declined it. I'm like, y'all ain't on the same accord. Y'all got two different tunes going out here. One is at a B flat, the other one is at an A sharp. Y'all got two different tunes out here.
Absolutely, that's a great point. They definitely was definitely on the opposite page in the media a couple times, and especially with the virtual T situation. Now, what's the number one fight or a couple of fights that you want to see Boots in this if you could lay out his next couple of fights free?
I mean, the first one at the top of the list is it got to be Virgil. Virgil, it got to be the top one on the list because Virgil don't have a fight right now. He said he'll be ready in November. Jerron Ennis wanted to fight in October, but it doesn't seem like he's going to have a fight for October. So he doesn't have a fight right now. So you got to look at Virgil as the top guy now. If he wants, he said. I mean, there's rumors saying that he wants to get acclimated at the weight class. He wanted two tune-ups. I don't know how true it is. I didn't hear him say that, but people said that's what he said. So I'm just going by the fact that is a rumor because I didn't hear him say it. So the rumor is that he wants two tune-ups. Okay, if you want two tune-ups, who are the two? Who do you consider a tune-up? Because even though he said he wants two tune-ups, they could be actual good opponents, but he just looks at them as tune-ups. He don't look at them as the top of the division. It could be somebody like a Jesus Ramos, and he say, "No, I want Jesus Ramos to get one as one of my tune-ups. I want to Magnum off to
You
get
breaking up a little bit free.
oh yeah, I'm driving. Can you hear me? Am I good now? B3, am I good?
Yeah, you broke up on us free. But hopefully everybody is still hearing me on the train. Still keep the train rocking. Definitely in transit. Hopefully,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you perfect now.
Hey, B3, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Oh yeah, so like I said, it all depends on who the two tune-ups is. Like I said, those tune-ups could be a guy like Jesus Ramos, where Jerome Buzinis look at Jesus Ramos as a tune-up, and he looks at Magnumov as a tune-up, which Magnumov I would say is a tune-up, but he's a solid opponent. Jesus Ramos, I wouldn't look at Jesus Ramos as a tune-up, but I mean, like I said, Jerron Buzinis could say these are the tune-ups, and people say, "Oh, he won a tune-up," but then when you look at the opponents, you're like, "Hold up, those ain't no tune-ups. Those are some fights that he could possibly lose."
Definitely.
So I mean,
100%.
it all depends on who he's trying to fight. But I don't really see too many guys at 54 that you could say is a tune-up. Most of those guys at 54 are tough individuals. I mean, of course, if you get somebody out of the top 15, then you can say, okay, these guys shouldn't have been in the ring with no Jerome Businis. But pretty much the top 15, all those guys are solid.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement. It's a lot of good fights for Boots Ennis at 154. And ultimately, I don't think. I mean, well, let me ask you this, Free, because we did hear Turkey, what Turkey said, and we also heard what he said to Hitchens. Now, Hitchens was trying to leave Eddie Hearn, and Turkey told Hitchens that we're not doing business with you outside of Eddie Hearn. Do you is that problematic in the sport? Do you feel like for a financier or a guy that's operating that way that wants you to be with certain guys to do business with him? Um do you feel like that may have played a part in Boost in his re-signing with Eddie?
I think that played a part in a lot of these guys that just signed with Eddie Hearn. I mean, you got to look at Shakur Stevenson. You got to look at Jerome Buzinis. You got to look at Hitchison. I mean Hitchens. You got to look at a lot of these guys that's signing with Eddie Hearn who wasn't signing with Eddie Hearn in the past, and for good reason because he doesn't have a lot of talent over there for a lot of these guys that's signing with him. If you look at 47, who do Eddie Hearn has outside of Jerome Booth Ennis? Who do Eddie Hearn got at 40? Well, I said 47 at 54.
At
Who
54, the
do
only
Eddie Hearn
person I
have?
can think of is Madrimov.
Right.
That's it.
So why would you sign back with Eddie Hearn if he ain't got nobody for you? And we haven't seen Matchroom do any deals with PBC. So I mean, the guys that Matchroom are fighting are either Queensbury, Golden Boy, or Matchroom itself. They haven't been fighting top ranked fighters or PBC fighters as of late. So who are you signing over there for? And then you look at 35. Shakur Stevenson signed over there with Eddie Hearn at 35, and the first name he brought up was Joe Cordina. Okay, you got the pay to fight, but that was because of
Turkey.
Golden Boy. It
Well,
wasn't
yeah.
because of Eddie Hearn. That was because of Golden Boy. So I'm like, I think
Yeah,
a
that's a
lot of
fact.
these guys are signing with Eddie Hearn because of Turkey.
Nah, definitely. And it's funny that it kind of worked out that way. It's definitely worked out in Eddie's favor. Um, you know, but I mean, I guess that's how Turkey wants to do business. So these guys that they want them big paydays. But it's funny that they're doing that with certain guys like Devin Haney, and Bill. They didn't have to re-sign with Eddie, to start working with Turkey. So I think it kind of just shows that you kind of have to. It's good to have your own promotional company to build that way, to kind of so you can have like a better leg to stand on in negotiations, versus allowing your manager to handle everything well. And then of course Devin has Bill at the helm, so that's why he's able to kind of maneuver and get these good deals, or get these big paydays essentially. Now let me ask you this, Free. Um, so since we hear about it, I gotta flip this real quick. They saying the new star, the Puerto Rican star, was born this weekend. Do you believe Xander Zayas is the new star, and you think he's gonna stay at 154 or go to 160?
I I've always believed that Xander Zayas was the Puerto Rican star. I mean, you can go back to the last couple of fights that Xander Zayas had. The Puerto Rican fans came out to see Xander Zayas. I mean, yeah, they support their own fighters, but I don't think that Edgar Berlanga was on the level of a Xander Zayas. Edgar Berlanga had the backing of New York, not so much of all of the Puerto Ricans, because I know a lot of Puerto Ricans that didn't like Edgar Berlanga. I know a lot of Puerto Ricans that don't like him. So he had the backing of New York because he's from New York. So, but I've always thought that Xander Zayas was the next star in the making, far as a Puerto Rican star. Like I said, you go back and look at the last couple of fights that he put out. He had a big turnout for the Puerto Rican fans.
Yes, he did. Now let me ask you this. Do you feel, based on what you've seen in this last fight, how at 22 years of age, how do you see him matching up with a Fandora, with a Bakram, guys like Ioannis Tellez, guys like that?
I think right now with the game plan that he put together on Saturday night, I think that game plan he can beat a Fandora. That game plan he can possibly beat a Boxrom. I know everybody is high on Boxrom because of what he did to Tim Tszyu, but if you go look at Boxrom past fights, go watch some of his fights in the past. Boxrom got outboxed before. It ain't like he just been out there beating everybody up. He gotten outboxed before. So I think Xander Zayas, because of his style that he showed on Saturday, I think he's a problem for a lot of those guys. Because outside of Jerome Boost Ennis, Erickson Lubin, and trying to think. Jerome Boost Ennis, Erickson Lubin, Jamel if he comes back at 54, and maybe a Keith Thurman, but I don't think Keith Thurman is that good of an opponent right now. But outside of those guys, everybody else in that division are pretty much come forward fighters, or they stand right in front of you, or they don't have a lot of head movement or great footwork. They ain't no boxer punchers. They're more so come forward punchers. So I think with his style, he could outbox a lot of those guys. Now, do I believe he beats all of those guys? No, I don't believe he beats all of them. But I think he can beat some of those guys that a lot of people think, oh, he don't have a chance with this guy. He don't have a chance with that guy. I think he got a chance with all of those guys.
100%. I do as well. I mean, I just saw a very skilled technical boxer this weekend. Xander Zayas, he definitely showed that he's a high IQ fighter. He was able to kind of, and he's also a well conditioned athlete. Jorge Perez, to me, he looked like he got a little winded, a little gassed in the back half of the fight. Even though a lot of people saw or thought that Jorge Perez did good work, like our brother Thomas and BVO. Both of them thought they saw Perez in a more competitive fight. But from the TV angle, we saw Zayas outclassing Perez and outworking Perez. And to be honest with you, Free, I didn't see more than 2 or 3 rounds you could give Perez. But that was just,
Yeah,
that's how I saw it. What about you? How many rounds did you give
and
Perez?
I gave him three. I gave him three, and that was being generous because one of those rounds was a swing round, and I said, you know what, I give it to Garcia. I give it to him. But that was the most I can give him because the first 6 or 7 rounds, I don't think he won any of those rounds. I don't think it was even close for him to win any of those rounds. Now in the back half, there was some times where he did have some nice punches that landed on Xander Zayas, and I think Xander Zayas might have took a round off here and there. And so I think Garcia won like 2 or 3 of those rounds cleanly. I think the third round that I gave him was a swing round. But other than that, it was all Xander Zayas. And that's why I said yesterday, I said we gotta. I mean, because what BVO and Thomas saw and what we all saw watching the fight on TV, I said, you know what, we gotta start looking at these refs a little bit different because BVO and Thomas saw something clearly different than what we saw, and they was at the fight. So maybe when you in a stationary spot, you can't see everything that we see. So that we might have to lay back on these judges a little bit because um, Thomas and BVO was one of the ones that used to be hard on these judges as well. And I'm sitting there looking at them. I'm like, dog, I don't know what fight y'all watch, but that fight wasn't close. It
That's a
wasn't close
fact.
at all.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a great point, Free, that you making because uh, in the sport of boxing, we get a lot of terrible scorecards. We get bad outcomes. But it's like you're saying, we've been kind of alluding to the fact that they need to change the angles, do something different, from a judging perspective, so we can get the best outcomes. Um, I guess it's like I don't know if it's easier to score MMA free, but it just feels like they rarely have robberies to really never have robberies. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty much cut and
Right.
dry. Maybe that's because it's odd number of rounds. I think that's more like 3 rounds, 5 rounds. You see what I'm saying? Versus 10, which it can break even, and 12 and 8 that can break even. 6 and 4, of course, all those can break even. So I think that's um
Yeah.
I think that's a cop out in the sport of boxing. Um, I don't know. I've never heard this free and mentioned. But I'm gonna ask you real quick. Would you prefer odd rounds so we can get less draws and more like kind of decisions or winners in fights? Because we've been seeing a lot of draws lately.
Um, I wouldn't oppose to that. I mean, I think it'd be more of a clear, decisive victory for one or the other. Because if one person won 6 rounds and another one won 5 rounds, well, who won the fight? One guy got 6 rounds. But if you got 12 rounds, you say, well, this guy got 6 rounds and this guy got
It's a
6 rounds.
draw.
It's a draw. I wouldn't be opposed to that
You
because
going out,
I
man?
think I can clearly. I ain't even moving. I ain't even moving. But yeah, I can clearly get a decisive decision on who won the fight on because there's only a fight number because there's only that much rounds. So that might be a thing that they
Free
might
choppy.
introduce. I don't think they would. I ain't even moving. I ain't even moving. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. All right. Let me.
All right, talk now. Say something free.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you
Can
good
you hear
now.
me?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, maybe we might need to do that, but I don't know if they would do that because it's been this way for so long. I don't know if they'll change it, but I do think that they need to put the judges in a different atmosphere where they either need to be in a room where they can
Yep.
see different angles of the fight or something, or they need to sit up high or something because, like I said, we clearly saw that Thomas and BVO saw something totally different from what we saw.
They was completely wrong.
Yeah.
they were they were so out of pocket. I mean, because we could tell for one, the early rounds, Zayas was very sharp, and then in the later rounds, yeah, they saw see what they were seeing and what they were scoring. To be honest with you, I talked to BBO this morning. They saw some clinching from Xander. That's what they were kind of alluding to. Now, of course, in the arena, I mean, his Xander's fan base, they just want to see him win. So when he's kind of clinching and moving on the back foot, that's boxing. But when other guys kind of do it, it's Tom and Jerry. But needless to say, that's kind of what they were saying. They was alluding to the fact that Xander was clinching a little bit, which is understandable in a fight with a guy like Jorge Perez, a guy that's pressuring the action, pushing forward, looking to land a big shot. I thought that is the IQ of Xander that he was able to clinch when he needed to clinch. I've seen young fighters like Devin Haney when he was coming up. He would use clinches to nullify aggressive pressure fighters. So to keep him so clean, to keep him away from having blows landed on them. So people got to understand that in the sport, clinching is necessary. It's a necessity, and the top elite fighters do clinch at times. Now, did you see excessive clinching against Jorge Garcia Perez for Xander?
Um, I, I mean, there were times that you could say, okay, you didn't need to hold there or whatever. So I'm not mad if a particular round you said he did too much clinching. I'm not mad at that because there was a couple of rounds where you said, okay, He clinching a little bit too much, and it could have just been that he was just trying to get his second win, and Jorge was just trying to bum rush him, and he was like, "Hold on, I'm not gonna just let you hit me, and I'm trying to get my second win. I'm gonna tie you up. If the referee don't say nothing about it, then I'm gonna tie you up and get it back to the center of the ring." So I'm not mad if somebody say that he was clinching a little bit too much at certain times in the fight. But the thing is, you gotta see when he was clinching, he was still he I mean I said still he was still clearly landing the more effective and the more shots. He landed more shots every single round. I don't think there was a single round that you say that Garcia landed more shots than Xander landed. Now he might have had a cleaner shot than Xander in a couple of rounds here and there, but I don't think he landed more shots than Xander Zayas in any round. I think Xander was outlanding him in just about every single round. It might have been one or two rounds that I might be missing that Garcia landed more than him, but I don't recall Garcia outlanded Xander Zayas. So Xander was having the better success, even though he might have clinched a little bit too much in this round or a little bit too much in that round. He still was having the better success in those rounds because I saw a guy like Garcia just swinging for big shots. He was just swinging for the fences to land a big shot because he knew he couldn't box with Xander. So he was like, I gotta hurt him because if I could hurt him, then I could put my punches together. So he wasn't trying to put punches together. He was just trying to throw big shots to hurt Xander. So that's why I was like, I don't know what fight y'all was watching. I didn't see a guy that landed a lot of shots. He was missing more than he was landing.
Who was that again, Free? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Now I was saying, Jorge Garcia, he was missing more than he was landing in every
Yes,
round. I'm like,
100%.
how did y'all see that fight was close? I'm like, nah. I said maybe you could say around here, around there was a close round, but to say the fight was close, nah, the fight wasn't close at all.
Nah, the fight definitely was not close. Jorge Perez, he pretty much, um, I mean, he only won about 3 rounds. He got outworked. But like that's what I was saying with Charles Conwell. He smothered his work. Charles Conwell could have beat Jorge Perez Garcia, but he smothered his work. You see what I'm saying? He was landing
Yeah,
some big shots, but when you allowing your opponent to land 2 and 3 shots, you getting too close. See, his defense, he can't fight off the back foot like Xander. Charles Conwell is he's a phenomenal athlete, but he didn't box well off the back foot against Jorge Garcia Perez. So our brother Tim Lane, he said clinching is an art in itself, 100%. And then
yeah.
Tim Lane said championship fight should be 15 rounds. Absolutely. What do you think? Do you feel like, well, the studies showed that, I'm sure the studies showed that it was probably a health concern for the 15 round fights free. But I mean, you seeing the conditioning of these guys, the high level conditioning of like a Devin Haney, a Benavidez, Terrence Bud Crawford. Do you feel like Shakur Stevenson? Do you feel like we should return to 15 round fights?
Um, uh, I would say, you know what? I would say it could stay at 12 round fights for regular championship fights, but when you're fighting for undisputed, that should be a
Mm,
15 round fight,
yeah,
a 15 round fight for undisputed. But a regular championship fight, that could be a 12 round fight. But you're fighting for all the marbles, there's all the belts on the line. I think it should be 15 rounds. Let's see who's really the best guy. You're fighting 15 rounds. We're going to know without a doubt who's the best guy.
100%. 100%. See, and With that being said, I'm thinking like and all of the like a super fight like Canelo Bud being 15 rounds. Do you feel like that's needed? Do you feel because think about it, as cerebral as both of these guys, experience wise, how many 12 rounds they've already been throughout the years. They can do 12 rounds on a regular basis on the daily. What let me ask you this, Free. How do you see a 15 round fight between Canelo and Bud playing out?
I seen somebody been exhausted somewhere around probably round 13 or 14. I think somebody's going to be exhausted. I think somebody is definitely going to get knocked down or possibly stopped if they had to fight 15 rounds. I think 95% of the fighters today can't go 15 rounds. They might say, "Oh yeah, I trained for 20 rounds. I trained for that." Yeah, there's one thing in training for 20 rounds. There's another thing when you're being actually in a 15 round fight because
Hmm.
you training, you're gonna have a little bit of luxury here and there. They're gonna have some sympathy on at certain times in those training. But when you actually in the fight and you got a referee and you got a timekeeper and you got judges that really don't care about what's going on, it's a little bit different. You because you got to think you training for 15 rounds or you training for however many rounds, that that's one thing, but you're actually been in a fight. You also got to take on the 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 mental that you got to deal with. That's going to drain you a little bit. The anxiety of being in an actual fight is going to drain you a little bit, and then all of the punishment that you're going to take when a guy that's really trying to beat you up, it's going to drain you. All that stuff drains your energy, whether you think of it or not. All that stuff drains your energy. You get tired when you have to think about something on a constant basis. It's just like driving. Driving is not a strenuous activity. But if you constantly driving, you're like, man, I'm tired as hell. I want to go home and go to sleep. I'm tired of driving. It's the same thing because your mind is constantly working because you got to watch out for this car, watch out for that car, make sure that these people ain't crossing the street while you coming to the intersection and all this other stuff. That is draining you. And it's the same thing in a fight. Your mind is constantly working, watching out for punches, watching out for things of that. And so it drains you. So all of that stuff drains you. And you got to do that for 15 rounds. I think a lot of these guys will not be able to do 15 rounds.
No, I'm in full agreement. Man, that would be amazing if we could return back to 15 round fights. Now, getting back to it, um, I mean, we got a lot of exciting fights coming up in the sport, especially in November. I'm pretty sure that Top Rank will have a schedule coming out. They got Espinoza. We haven't seen Oshaki Foster this year, I don't believe. If we did, it was at the beginning of the year. So we looking forward to those two return. And then ultimately they got Angelo Leo. I know he's also with Pro Box TV. So I'm looking forward to the announcements that's expected to come up over the next couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah,
think go ahead.
no, I was saying they looking for an opponent for Espinoza. He don't have no opponent right now.
Oh, you're right. You're
And
right.
that's what Shushu was saying. Shushu was saying, yeah, you supposed to be having a fight, but you ain't got no opponent. I would love to have that fight.
Hmm.
So we gonna see who they find for him to fight. And Leo, he told Shushu that he only want to fight. He only want to have a unification fight. So who are you fighting? Are you fighting Nick Ball? We know you're not fighting Cool Boy. Are you going to try to get in there with Espinoza, who don't have an opponent right now? You told Shushu that you only want to fight for a title. You only want to unify. You don't want to fight a regular fight. You want to unify. So was that you just ducking Shushu, or is that really what you feel?
Mm. Now, Fulton is pretty much. I mean, as a two-time champion out of Philly, two division champion, a former unified champion. I'm gonna be honest with you. Fulton is on the verge of being what I consider in boxing a made man. I mean, after beating Figueroa in the oppressive fashion that he did, and we seen coming off the Carlos Castro performance where he got dropped and he got through that fight barely. Let's be clear, a lot of people think Carlos Castro won that fight, right? So I mean, his heart can never be questioned. Stephen Fulton, his durability um, in the sport. I mean, a phenomenal athlete. Just I think he's just one of the best fighters of this era. Just to be fully transparent, I do want to see the Oshaki Foster fight. Do you have a winner in that fight, Free? Fulton versus Foster.
Oshaki.
Mm.
I
What
mean,
has you
like,
seen Oshaki? Oh, go ahead.
no, I see. Like with Cool Boy, I don't. I think it's kind of um smoke and mirrors. I think it's kind of smoke and mirrors. We saw what we saw with the Monster Inouye fight, and then we saw what we saw in the Castro fight, and then he gets back in there with Brandon Figueroa, and then we saw how he looks against Brandon Figueroa, and it made me think: is he just familiar with Brandon Figueroa? That's why he looked so good because he's been in there with him before, and he fought Brandon Figueroa in an amateur, so he's familiar with Brandon Figueroa. So it's not something that he's not familiar. Like with Castro, he never fought Castro before. With Monster, he never fought him before. So it was more so he had to find his way in those fights. But with Brandon Figueroa, he already knew what Brandon Figueroa likes to do. He said, "Okay, I know he's a come forward fighter. He likes to fight on the inside. He's not really a boxer. I know what he likes to do, so he can have success with a guy. It's just like you playing the same person in basketball. You know he likes to go to the left. He don't go to the right. So I ain't got to worry about the right. I just gotta stop him going left.
100%.
So I think I got I pick I pick Oshaki to win that fight because I need Cool Boy to prove to me that it wasn't just because it was Brandon Figueroa. I need to see that you're really all the way back because prior to the Monster anyway, I thought Cool Boy was one of the best fighters at 122. Um, but then he got in there with Monster and he got beat up. And when he came back, he didn't look like he was all the way back. So I gotta see that it just happened to be the fact that Monster had your oh shoot, Monster had your number, and it wasn't just because you know who Figueroa is the reason why you was able to do what you did.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, now Figueroa, he just came back. He got a controversial decision, I would say. I think Joette was definitely doing a lot of good work in that fight. Um, Now, and that's still 126. Let me ask you this, Free. The young guy Elijah Pierce, that we saw this past weekend, he's at the 126-pound division. How are you seeing Elijah Pierce? And what's some good matchups for Elijah Pierce. Let me look and see where what his ranking is to what sanctioning body they moving Elijah through. Let me see. Okay, free fell off. Listen, salute to everybody that's in the building. I appreciate y'all. Anybody that's watching this want the link, man, let me know. I'll post the link so we can get it cracking. I'm gonna stay live for a bit longer. Hopefully, shout out to everybody that's in the building. Now, we know what the live is. Where's Al Heyman? Where is the great Al Heyman? Where is Errol Spence Jr. date? Um, you know, come on, man. Where are the dates? Man, we looking forward to man, hopefully everything goes well tomorrow. This is a big deal. I don't think a lot of people are understanding that boxing era could be ending. Is this the end of an era? With we have Errol Spence Jr. The will we see Errol Spence Jr. back, man? Y'all gotta let me know. Let me know in the chat. Are we gonna see Errol Spence Jr. back? Is Tank Davis gonna be fighting this year? My brother Ann McQueen, appreciate you for coming in. He said, and this is what he dropped from Jules. He says it's not gonna happen because it removes the possibility of a draw, which has financial consequences. 100%. 100%. That's a fact. In the sport of boxing, draws are a promoter's best friend, especially when the A side is the champ, like a Barrios versus Pac Man, Deontay versus Fury. Um, Come on, man. I mean, Tank versus Lamont. You know, the Tank versus Lamont, everybody know I made 2,300 on that live bet because I knew and I should have did the same thing, but I bet Pac-Man. I thought they wanted Pac-Man to get the belt. So I bet Pac-Man this go round instead of betting the draw, right? But with the Tank Lamont, I knew for sure that Lamont was going to not get that win over Tank. Let's be clear. He was going to have to get the knockout. And it was a close fight. Lamont was plus 1,800 live bet after like round 6 or 7 by decision, right? Still. And the draw was plus 3,000. So of course I took the draw and the rest is history. The champ is going to stay the champ in the sport of boxing. They say you have to beat the champ. I know, man. We need it. He said 2,300 would be lovely. Yes. Yes, bro. I know, bro. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find that gem. We thought we had one this week. I definitely thought I had one this week. Clarissa the Grow Shields getting that knockdown first 6 rounds. But Lonnie Daniels, she definitely was on her bicycle the first couple rounds. She had a good strategy. And then ultimately Clarissa definitely gassed out. She said she admitted that she gassed out. So tough on us this week, B3 picks, but we still here. We still working. You know what I'm saying? We still supporting the growth, man. Shout out to women's boxing. We have hopefully we get the Clarissa Shields Shadeja Green matchup. Everybody in here, what y'all thoughts? Do y'all want to see Clarissa versus Shadeja Green next? Or do y'all want to see Clarissa versus Layla Ali? Now, Layla Ali did have some workout footage. I did see somebody post well, she posted some, you know, herself in the gym, looking very fit. Do y'all want to see Layla Ali back in the ring? Let me know. Do y'all want to see Layla back? I mean, I think that would be a great rollout if we were to get Layla and Clarissa. I think it would be a phenomenal promotion. Um Layla still got it. She could still, I mean, At 48, I mean, it's pretty much don't get much better than that. Layla Ali. Shout out to, Layla. Hopefully we get that matchup, man. Clarissa wants it. I think it will build the sport. Our brother Tim Lane, our brother Tim said, I'm shocked she didn't knock her down. Yeah, the 2 minute rounds are trash, bro. That's a fact. And he said, the Go versus Green next. Yeah, let's push that. Let's push that. Because what's gonna happen is Layla will more than likely need a tune-up fight. I would want her to get something, a fight before the quote, before Clarissa, and then they fight. So yeah, Clarissa versus Shadeja Green. Shadeja Green has showed power. She cracked Savannah. You know, I think that's the fight next. I think that's the fight we need. So shout out to women's boxing. I think those would be the two biggest fights right now outside of a Katie Taylor versus AB Alicia Baumgartner. Yeah, pretty petite versus Katie is probably the second biggest. Of course, Clarissa Layla number one. Um, then I would say Clarissa Shadeja two. Then Katie AB three, and I love you AB, but you know that's just what it is. When and it's just because of the two-time Olympics, 15,000 and sellout at Little Caesars, uh, you know, what, like a 17-time champion, three-time undisputed. That's, I mean, I don't have to say that, but some people need to hear that. They be like, why is that a bigger fight? That's why. respectfully, respectfully. And we wanna see who can defeat the GOAT. That's what it comes down to. Everybody is they're under. We are underwhelmed with these opponents. Lonnie Daniels, but she didn't beat a Christina Hammer, Franchon Cruz, Emma Cozen. She didn't build her way up to the Clarissa fight. Now, Shadeja Green, who is a unified champion with a Savannah Marshall win, and she's been in there with Franchon. That's a great opponent. That's called building a fight. We know Shadeja Green. We didn't know Lonnie respectfully. We didn't know Danielle respectfully. We don't know Shay nearly respectfully. But we're gonna watch the goal every time she step out. It's just the biggest fights in the sport are 50-50 fights or perceived 50-50 fights, and fights where the best fighter, perceived best fighter, has a chance to lose. They have a chance to be pushed to their limits. I mean, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see gimme fights. We definitely don't want to pay for them. So the zone boxing, um, man, we need to make sure and ensure that we giving 50-50 fights to the fans. That's mandatory. Okay. Salute. Layla Ali, she's married to NFL receiver Curtis Conway and has two teenage children. Awesome. That's what's good. Salute to Layla and Curtis. And their kids. God bless them. But we got to get your mama in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Her versus the GOAT, a great event for the sport. All right, so let me think. What else is there? What other news and notes do we have in boxing? Let me think. We talked about the next Puerto Rican star, Xander Zayas. We also talked about the Clarissa the Gold Shields. The young brother who fought this past weekend as well, Elijah Pierce, getting knocked down, I believe, in the first round, but getting back and getting a stoppage victory, a highlight reel knockout. Man, shout out to Elijah Pierce, the Wolf. OTX is doing amazing things, so salute to them. And we look forward to just seeing the growth of OTX. Andres Casarakis, we need him back ASAP, preferably against the Professor Michael Fox. So that's just what it is. That's what we need, man. Make sure everybody please like the page, follow, um, like the live and follow the page. Come back and see me. And definitely don't hesitate to hit the Cash App B3Picks. Definitely hit the Cash App. Support the channel. Help the channel grow. Outside of those names, we look forward to seeing Bruce Shushu Carrington back in the ring. I mean, he went the distance this past week. I definitely had him getting a stoppage, but salute to Mateus Hita. He tough competitor, crafty, a gentleman in the ring. Was able to, kind of keep his composure and get through that fight. So salute to Mateus Hita. And yeah, Bruce, man, we need Bruce in some good fights. Maybe Espinoza fight Bruce now. Bruce ain't stop haters, so maybe hopefully we get that Espinoza versus Shushu Carrington. That's a Riyadh season fight right there. That's a champion fight right there. So we just need to see what's gonna happen with Cool Boy Stephen Fulton, see what's going to happen with his belt at 126, the WBC full title. And then if Shushu gets elevated, there you go. We're going to have a unification on our hands. But right now, I'm Angelo Leo is still in the mix. So we got to get another fight for Angelo Leo. So it's a lot of options for these top guys in the sport. I look forward to um, the next couple of weeks. We're gonna get some announcements. We got Kenneth Sims Jr. this weekend versus Oscar Duarte. Let me know in the chat, in the comments, who y'all got in for the Kenneth Sims versus Oscar Duarte fight. That's gonna be a great fight. Golden Boy Promotions is gonna be in Chicago with that one. So shout out to Kenneth Sims Jr. getting the opportunity, main event in his hometown. So we look forward to that fight this weekend, August 2nd. Jojo Diaz versus Regis Prograis is back on the undercard. So not sure we would ever get this matchup between Regis and Jojo, but let me know in the comments who y'all got, Regis Prograis or Jojo Diaz. Jojo been consistently active, man, taking paydays. JoJo is a tough competitor, former Olympian, former champion. Regis Prograis, a two-time champion at 140. They're about to mix it up. I think Regis has the power advantage. Let's just see who's going to be more durable on the night. So I definitely look forward to that fight. I'm gonna do a couple few more lives later in the week, so I'll discuss those matchups. Um, Kenneth Sims versus Oscar Duarte, Regis Prograis versus Jojo Diaz. Great event by Golden Boy Promotions. They back at it. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to coming back again. Make sure y'all follow me at B3 Picks TV. Subscribe. Also, like the live and hit your brother in the Cash App B3 Picks. Thank you for the support. That's going to help me grow the channel. That's going to help me keep the lights on. 100%. But ultimately, that's going to help me keep bringing great content on a daily basis. And shout out to the Sports Talk Network. Shout out to all my brothers in Just Boxing Talk JBT. Um, Hold on real quick. I got Marky Dan pulling up. Marky Dan don't want a brother to leave. Marky Dan, the man.
What's good, B3O?
Salute to you, fam. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. Good morning to you.
Good
What you were
morning.
talking about?
Listen, man. I'm talking about everything. I've been on for an hour, but now you're gonna extend the show for the people, so I know they're gonna love that, and I'm gonna love that. But I'm definitely gonna have to give me a piece of cake or put something on my system. But check it. I'm gonna let you cook for a second. This is the topic of the day. Where's Al Heyman? Is this the end of an era Errol Spence hasn't had a date. We getting Louis Decubas Jr. moving Mario Barrios. Now he didn't got a Pac-Man fight. He didn't fought everybody in the PBC stable. I want to know where's Al, and let me know. Do you expect to see Tank and Errol Spence in 2025?
No, I don't expect to see either of them fighting in 2025. Earl, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Keep going.
No, yeah, I was just saying Earl, because I just don't think he's in the right place mentally or physically to get back in the ring. I mean, that would be his first fight without Derek James, and they're talking about he's gonna fight a champion. I don't buy it. Fondora just fought. Zayas just fought. Um, the only other guys would be Bud Crawford, who's at 168. So that leaves you with Bektamir, and he would beat him half to death. Like, I don't like all the way how all the Earl Spence fans were bitching and crying, talking about, oh, he should have never got in there with Crawford. Well, bitch, he should have never. Well, y'all gonna be saying, y'all gonna be saying he should have never got in there with Bektamir after that man sends him to the fucking hospital. Are you crazy? No, and then with Tank, I mean, I don't know. With Tank, it's just a really uncertain situation. I mean, he's a very wealthy young man, has a lot of great future prospects. So you never know. Maybe the judge, maybe not the judge with this hearing coming up tomorrow, but maybe a judge at a future date will give him a break. So it's not out the possibility. Maybe he could get a fight in before December, but I don't see it happening. And then to the question of where is Al Hamon, Al Heyman is getting the fuck up out of boxing. That's what's happening. Like, and that's the problem with a lot of these cats. They can't adapt with the times. Al Heyman can adapt with the times. Al Heyman didn't even start in boxing. Al Heyman came from music. He came from the music industry. Okay, then he came over to boxing, built himself a nice little empire. But empires fall. The next empire for Al Heyman is going to be crypto. I think he's done dealing with human beings directly in general. I think he's just going to be buying up a bunch of crypto. He's going to be a crypto broker, probably build his own blockchain. Yeah, I think he's done with boxing, if you ask me, B3.
I mean that's disheartening, but I can understand it. He definitely still has the PBC conglomerate, so they can still function. I believe behind the Cubans Jr.
But how much debt are they in, B3? I remember last time I checked, like it was something crazy, like 800 million.
Mm, I didn't know. Now I didn't know they was. Now I know. I'm. What the reports was he spent 800 million, but I don't know if he's down
But that
eight
was
hundred
eight
million. You see
hundred
what I mean?
million of other people's money, B3.
Yeah, but they've also made money over the years. We can't act like they didn't produce Pack
True,
and
true.
generate revenue, because that was five
But
hundred million.
Man
Hold
Pack
on, let me
wasn't
just say that. That's
PBC. Remember
500 million. And then
what year
hold
did
on.
PBC
How
come
many
out
how
though?
many pay-per-views did McGregor do? It was
Uh,
another like 4 million,
Three
right? Five
million,
million.
3.3. Like I think it produced 400.
But Pack was over five, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, so that fight
but
generated
that
over
wasn't
so
PBC.
between that, so that listen, no, I'm talking about Mayweather. Yes, it was. Everything's out here. What? Come on, bro. All
No,
I'm
but I'm
saying is
saying
you
the,
try
the
you.
company
I'm just saying.
PBC
Hold on, no, hold
PBC's
on.
a go ahead. My
We're
bad.
gonna
My
move
bad. Go
past
ahead.
this. Yeah, we're gonna move past this. All I'm saying is you brought up 800 million, and I just told you I found 800 million. You see what I'm saying? And those just
Okay.
two
Okay.
events.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I was trying to say. But outside of that, who? Let me say this with Clarissa the Girl Shields. I gotta ask you this, bro. Clarissa the Girl Shields, right? What's the biggest fight for her? Or do you want to see her against Shadeja Green next or Layla Ali next? Okay, our brother Marky, he went on mute.
Oh, my bad. I was just talking on mute. No, I was saying the Layla Ali. I mean,
Yeah.
what hasn't didn't she already beat Shadeisha Green?
No, Shadeja Green actually lost to Franchon
Okay.
Cruz.
Okay, then it was
Hmm.
Fran Sean Cruz who I was thinking of that Clarissa fought.
Hmm.
Nah, I'm not interested in that fight at all. I think Clarissa would school all of these girls. I don't think any of them are in her class. So why not go with the the gimmick fight, the storyline fight. You know, I think the build up to that one would be way more fun than fucking or excuse me, my apologies for cursing, but way more fun than the build up for Shadesha Green.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like with Layla Ali, we're gonna be locked in for all
But
8 of those weeks.
Jake
Like that's
Paul,
gonna
you're
be a
not
real
gonna throw in
super
Jake
fight.
Paul though. Jake Paul gonna help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So Shadeja mixed with Jake Paul and Amanda and Clarissa, that's a four-headed monster versus Clarissa and Layla. Now think about it. You still think Layla's bigger? Or more, or is it more better? Which one is the better build up?
What
With Shadeja in combination with Jake and Amanda versus just Layla Ali?
what I want to see them. Well, I think Jake in combination with Amanda and
What's in
I think it's the Clarissa and Layla. I don't know if I even heard your question correctly, but let me just say this.
Go ahead, Market Cook. I got a room. I got a dead like a dead room in my house with a where the service gets bad. But I can hear you. Go ahead and cook.
No, absolutely. That happens to me too. But no, I just think the Clarissa Layla Ali fight. What I would love for Jake Paul to be involved in that fight. I'd love for it to be on MVP Promotions. He could send out Clarissa a check, get Netflix involved. What I want him to do, have Alicia Bumgarner. If you can't get Katie Taylor in the ring, get Caroline Dubois in the ring. Have that be the co-main event. Then for the third fight, who we should put in there? I think you do
I got
the
you. Hold
Shadesha
on. Give me the
Green,
first one. Give me the first two.
Layla Ali, Clarissa Shields. Then you do
Oh,
if you can't get Katie Taylor in the ring with Bumgarner, get Caroline Dubois versus Bumgarner. Then the last
yes.
one, who we gonna put in there?
I
Because I
like
want it to be a real
the
three headed
next one
monster.
we gotta get Sugar Neeks back. So we gotta get Sugar Neeks versus Scott Nicholson.
Who the hell is Sugar? I gotta look up Sugar Neeks. Hold on.
Shanika
I,
Johnson, she just beat Slim Goody. She just beat
oh my
Chicken.
God,
You seen that fight.
she is fine.
Yeah, Shanika Johnson. Yeah, she's bad. Salute to beautiful Shanika.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully she stay beautiful in this violent sport. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Absolutely.
Listen, she already went to war with Ellie Scottney. Shanika Johnson is a tremendous athlete. One of the
They need
best in
to
the
start
sport.
charging for these weigh-ins, for these female weigh-ins, B3. I think that's
Ah,
the way you really start building some revenue in this women's boxing.
you can't. But the thing about it is when you charging for sex, that's where it gets complicated because now they have to go above and beyond to please to please a weirdo fan. So that's why they can't. You see what I'm saying? Now, we just gotta just enjoy what we get. You already, you know what I'm saying? Now, outside of that,
Hey, you want that money? You gonna please that weirdo fan? The
well,
weirdos,
that's
they
what they
built
got to.
an industry off the weirdos. B3
No,
with
I'm not
OnlyFans.
disputing that at all. What I'm saying is that's why they have OnlyFans and they have places behind closed doors for people that want to be entertained that way. And if you wanna if you wanna
Is
entertain
this
them,
not an adult sport?
no. But no, we have decorum, man. Do you know where boxing started? You know they don't get down like that. Chris Eubanks Sr. They don't even like you to cuss. So let alone
The
being
Eubanks
provocative.
are literally the worst people you could
Ah,
bring up,
don't
and I'm
say
not even gonna bring
that.
up his
Don't say.
situation.
Well, you know what I was meaning by how how Chris Eubanks Sr. is. He don't like
Yes,
no
yes, yes,
cussing,
yeah.
and they believe in that like being a gentleman. You know what I mean? So like it's still supposed to be like a gentleman sport. So, but sex does sell. You know, but you see with Turkey coming in
But
the sport, he don't even want women ring card girls, which
But
is
what you
crazy.
just say, right? Well, what did you just say right there, B3? It's a gentleman sport. Boxing started this way. Yeah, over 100 years ago, if you were a woman, you had to stay in the kitchen, cook and clean, make them a sandwich, and shut up. It's not like that anymore, B3. Women own their bodies, and if they want to make some goddamn money off of it, get in. Matter of fact, what MVP should do? Get in partnership with OnlyFans. Yeah,
Mm.
monetize them wins. Half monetize everything. God damn it. That's what I say. B3. That's just what I say.
As we can see, Marky is definitely about making sure that he can that these women maximize their value. I mean, we definitely got some beautiful women in the sport. We seen Clarissa Shields this past week in that uh and you know what she with that ensemble she wore with the mink coat and the Gucci.
Oh my
um
lord.
yeah, that was a great fit. She had the cakes out. But see, that is good for boxing. I mean, and we could talk about it because that's boxing. That's just what it is. And I know you're saying Sugar Neek, she just looks amazing. It's a lot of beautiful women in the sport. And they definitely need to show that off, you know, as much as possible. Now, outside of that, do you think we get the Alicia Baumgartner Katie Taylor fight? Like, why are we waiting so long for
I
that?
don't
That's
see
it.
why we wouldn't. I don't think Katie Taylor is scared to fight her, and I think there would be a check involved. So
Now, did you
if
hear
the money
anything
is
about
right, I don't see why
retirement?
the fight wouldn't happen.
Did you hear anything about retirement for Katie Taylor after the Amanda fight, or around, or even
No,
you
I
know?
didn't hear her explicitly say that.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, I know
I know
Katie's getting a
Amanda
little
is
up
pretty
there.
much done. She's got her retirement plan set. She signed a lifetime contract with MVP for the next 16 years. So she's set.
Which I think she's like a part of the actual promotional outfit ownership group, right?
She's the
Yeah.
general manager of the women's of MVP's women's roster.
Yeah, so yeah, well, Amanda Serrano, she's getting everything she deserved in the sport of boxing.
Absolutely.
She's a beautiful woman, and she's definitely done a lot for the sport. She's given a lot of years. She definitely had a lot of years where she wasn't getting financially. Boxing wasn't treating her well financially. You know what I mean? And what she was getting, I think one report was she got like 10,000 for like a title fight. You know, 8,000 for a title fight, something crazy like that. So, shout out to MVP and Nikisa Badarian, Jake Paul for getting Amanda um in the limelight and building up women's boxing through her. And wow, I mean been an incredible run if she retires. Now, I think she should do a Puerto Rico. I think she won't retire without doing a Puerto Rico fight. Do you believe that, Mark? You believe she'll fight at least one time in Puerto Rico? I just thought about that. I haven't heard anything, but doesn't
I
that
don't
make
know.
sense? That makes sense though.
I mean, it would make sense, but I don't know.
Because you remember she missed the opportunity
The
because she
last
had
time
that
they tried to the last time they
she
tried to
had
take her to Puerto Rico, I think she got sick or
no,
she
she
got hit
had
in her
hair
eye or
grease.
something
No,
happened. I
hair
don't know.
grease. She's the original hair grease. She if you
Oh
like the
yeah, yeah,
cartoon.
yeah. Like
She's the
her.
first.
Yeah. What? It messed with her eye or something like that. It was
Yeah,
something
it burned her
crazy.
eye. Yeah, she couldn't see.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that shit. I was actually pissed off at her because people were on Jake Paul's ass like he did something wrong.
He gave everybody that money back. But yeah, he Jake Paul's a good man. You gonna take when you the head, like they say the head of the snake. I don't like the for the snake. I'm of God. But when you the head of a company or organization, you should take you should take majority of criticism because when something doesn't go right. And I mean that's just what it is. Now he can't now can you I would say, Marky, can like, for instance, you stop everything from happening? Absolutely not. You just an individual, but you got to have culpability. Now, let me say this, Marky. Let's get back to boxing, right? Well, hold on, Marky. Did you do your show yesterday?
Nah, nah. I just
Okay,
wasn't feeling it.
okay, I
I
got you.
was
No
editing.
worries.
I'm gonna put out a couple videos today.
Good.
I don't know. It's I'm supporting a boycott of a certain country. I'm not gonna say it on your channel. But
Okay.
yeah, uh, go look it up on my channel, Democracy 101. I'm gonna be putting a couple videos out on it today.
Okay, good. Okay, good, good. Good people. The people are definitely intrigued. I know they were ready. And our brother definitely talking about Clarissa cakes for days. 100%.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
100%. Now, right now, if you had to say who is the number one fighter for you at 135?
Who's my number one?
Uh huh.
Um, Shakur. You know, since Tank Davis is clearly out of it, it's gotta be Shakur. You know,
Mm.
picking out of Murataya, he's not. I don't think he's proven yet. Abdullah, he's not proven yet. Tank, like I said, he's out of it. So it's got to be Shakur.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Shakur definitely. He's been.
And Keyshawn just got up out of there. So it's not really anybody else. It's by the process of elimination, it's got to be Shakur.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think Shakur has done a lot of proving. Salute to the brother, the family prize is in the building. Appreciate you. And definitely come up if you can, prize. But I'm 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 in agreement with you. I think Shakur is the top of the 135 at this time. Um uh Roosterfish asks, is Cruz number two? And I believe he's referencing, salute to you, bro. Roosterfish
Oh,
is
Andy Cruz?
Andy Cruz. What's
No.
your take on Andy Cruz? Where do you rank him?
I think Andy Cruz is a super talent. If if I have to do it, one Shakur, two Tank with an asterisk by him. Three, I don't know. I have to say Murtai is above Abdullah. Just to me, respectfully. You know, Murtai has never been on his ass in his career, and I feel like they both pretty much fought the same level of competition, and both have shown,
Who?
you know,
Hold
they're
on,
pretty
hold on, hold on,
talented.
hold on, hold on. Let me correct you for the people. Humberto Galindo dropped Raymond Mortai in the first round brutally in that fight. You can continue.
Oh, okay, okay, I stand corrected.
Nah, it
Um,
wasn't brutal. It was a
then
flash, but it was ugly. But keep going.
okay, well then Shushu got dropped twice in the first round against the same level of competition. So
You mean Abdullah? I know what you said. I know.
Abdullah,
Yep.
correct.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah. So I got Murtaya number three,
Mm-hmm.
Abdullah number four, and then yeah, by process of elimination, I would say Andy Cruz is number five.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna rank the 135 guys right now, and I'm definitely including Tank, but because what the prowess, I'm gonna put Shakur number one right now. I got Tank number two. I have putting hmm I'm gonna put Floyd Schofield number three
She ain't
because he
never put
got the
my
Tevin
stats up
Farmer
here.
and a knockout. That's a big win. So I got Floyd number three. Then I got Abdullah Mason four and Andy
What?
five.
What? You what? You you talking about? I'm speechless. You said Kid Austin number three.
And the only reason Lamont Roach is not at my in my 135 rankings is because he hasn't kind of determined whether he's going to stay at 135. But if Lamont Roach is at 135, um, he's right outside. He's right outside the top. He's still gonna be right outside the top five.
You trying to skip over? You said Kid Austin number three.
Yeah, I got Kid Austin three, baby.
That's
Uh-huh.
crazy.
I mean, that's just what I see, man. But they got
You
to prove it
talking
in the
about the
ring.
Kid Austin that was sick, had to duck up out of the fight against Shakur?
I mean, yeah, he
Uh,
was dehydrated. That happens in sport of boxing. Virgil Ortiz is a great fighter, and he got sick and had to. Did he duck up out of the Stanionis fight? You know what I'm saying? So we
nah.
pick and
It
choose.
wasn't the week of the fight. It was a couple days before the fight.
Yes, it was. He fought
And
out twice
Turkey
actually.
and many others said the man was fine. He was fine walking around.
Yeah, but when you collapse, yeah, it's one thing if you see me in the morning and I'm fine, but it's another thing if if I collapse later in the day. So that's two different time periods. My whole thing is this, man.
Man, it's a
I
whole
mean, this
bunch
is
of
my whole
stuff
thing.
going on.
Um, I don't believe Floyd, Kid Austin would miss out on $1 million+ payday. Um, that just doesn't make sense.
But,
But so they think they wasted Jawan Guzman's time. They had Jawan Guzman and Camp did all of that just to let that man down, like or just run away and quit, and they didn't brought that man all the way to Saudi. Not a chance, bro.
so you to be clear, you're ranking him at number three based off his win against Tevin Farmer.
Well, yeah, well, no, his skill set. I like his skill set. You know what I'm saying? I think in a firefight, I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I think he competes well. Andy's chin looks a little suspect. He was getting cracked by Antonio Moran, right? And we've seen, I mean, we seen Kid Austin show high level pop for his, weight class. We've
I feel
seen
like he ain't
Abdullah
had a couple
and also
stoppages in a while.
who was that?
Kid Austin, I feel like he hasn't had a stoppage in a while before that Tevin Farmer.
I mean, he went rounds with Renee. He went rounds with Renee. Got on, but Renee got on is one of them dudes. Renee got on went rounds with Eduardo Rocky Hernandez. I mean, he was just fighting a couple of good fighters back to back. That's all that is.
He went
Uh,
2024 without a knockout, but okay.
I mean, who is Andy? Not
I mean, Andy
Andy.
Cruiser,
Come on, hold on.
gold
Let's be
medalist.
real.
What do
Let's
you
be
mean
real.
was
Y'all are
Andy?
ranking. Let's be real. You're ranking Abdullah Mason off the eye test. He hasn't beat anybody, right? Right or wrong?
That's correct. That's correct,
Okay.
sir.
So that's what I'm saying. I got Floyd Jr. up there
Oh,
because I got I got Floyd Jr. up there because he got the level of opposition wins and he's showing that power.
man, you
That's
better
just what it is.
man, you better correct yourself. You talking about Floyd Jr. That's Kid Austin. That's not Floyd Jr. Let's
Come
just get that
on,
straight.
man. Stop it,
Uh,
man. Listen, you
ain't
better
no stopping,
you
man.
listen. Come on, man. Tighten up. It's the new era of boxing. Man, we ain't with all that, man.
All
Come
right,
on, man. It's the
whatever.
Floyd.
Most people,
It's still the Floyd. Well, it's still the Floyd era.
most people don't know shit about boxing. I'll just say that.
D-Ray live on the
Floyd,
drive. Salute, fam. Appreciate you for coming in. Hey,
salute.
everybody watching, make sure y'all smash the like button. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all, man. All right, so we went through our 135 rankings, right? Let's go to 140.
Hold on,
Give
B3.
me
I
a
gotta make
top.
a call. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna be right back.
All right, that's a bet. You good. Um, Appreciate my brother Marky coming in. He got to step out for a second. I'm gonna keep the people here. Now, as y'all can see, we running through. We just went through 135. We're gonna go through 140. I'm gonna give y'all my top 140s right now. Right, top 140 right now, in my opinion, I have Gary Antoine Russell number one. I have Richardson Hitchens number two. I got Teofimo Lopez number three. I have. I'm gonna go. I don't want to omit anybody. I'm just thinking. I'm just pondering real quick. I'm gonna go Sabril four, and I'm gonna still keep Puello at five. I love Puello. Puello is a great boxer. I think, and y'all put this in the chat. Who y'all thought won? the Puyo versus Matias fight. I thought it was close. Puyo possibly could have edged it. But ultimately, that them close fights, that back foot
I
style
am
kind of caught
back.
up with Puyo. Okay, our brother Marky is back. So, Marky, let me read you. Let me break you down. Let me give you. Did you hear my top five?
Whoa, whoa.
Pause. But did you hear my top five?
What'd you say?
I said, did you hear my top five?
No, I was on the phone.
Okay, check this. My top five at 140 right now. I'm putting Gary Antoine one. And let me preface it by saying I'm doing this based off skill sets, who I think will win in matchups, things of that nature as well. So I'm going Gary one, Hitchens two, I'm going TO3, Sabril four, and then Puyo five. I couldn't replace Puyo because he definitely is still one of the top boxers. I feel like at 140. I don't think anybody outside of the champions is more impressive as a boxer right now than Puyo.
Um, I'ma say my top five. Let me see. Them belts it's really hard to say. Them belts have been moving around a lot. Like, it's really not been nobody except maybe you know what? Okay, I'll say Richardson Hitchens is my number one. I think he's really the only guy that's been able to defend his belt thus far. Like, if you really look at it, even though I will say it was against a Cambosis, a guy from coming up from 135 who he was supposed to beat, he was supposed to stop. Still, he performed. So Hitchens would be my number one. Um, Puyo would be my number two. I thought he beat Matias, and not only that, he beat Gary Antoine Russell. Um, Gary Antoine would be my number three. Matias would be my number four. Even though he does have a relentless style, I just think he's a walking punching bag, bro. Like, if you know how to tie up, if you know how to move, if you know how to stall, and at least keep him and at least be able to get yours off and then stall him, I feel like you could beat a Matias. At least if you could have the judges on your side. But so Matias would be my number four. And my number five, Tio. Yeah, Tio would be my number five.
Yeah, man, and I know a lot of people. Um, they will Tiafimo. He just has some close fights, and I think he's avoiding some guys. What do you think? What you want next for Tio? Who do you want to see Tio mix it up with next?
I'd like to see him go to sleep.
I'm with you. I mean,
Uh,
let me say this. I'll go ahead.
no, I mean, I'd like to see him against any of them guys. Matias just smacked him, made him look like he was a little punk. We already
Hmm.
saw what Bud Crawford did to him, made him look like a punk. That looked like a prison situation, if you ask me, the way how he had his arm around him and was telling him, tell him what you told me. Like that. That was crazy, B3. Like B3, don't ever let another man put his arm around you and, and talking about tell him what you told me. Duh, that's crazy. Then
That was
we
OD.
saw what'd you say?
I say, yeah, that was OD when Bud grabbed him up. That was crazy. I would have been like, "Get off me, man!"
Oh my God.
He didn't even want to move. Back.
Then Matias was talking that heavy nigga Spanish, that nigga Puerto Ricans, man. He was letting Tio know, like,
Mm.
about all that shit he was talking.
And he slapped
Um,
him.
yeah, then he smacked them. So that's two niggas that done stepped to you and made you look like a punk. So you gotta fight one of these dark skinned gentlemen,
Ugh.
such as a Gary Antoine or, a Matias. Or
Well,
who's
let
the
me
other
say
boy?
this. Well, let me say this. And
Yeah.
Tiafimo, he's smarter than your average guy. Uh, his best one of his best friends in the sport of boxing is Gary Antoine Russell. From when they was children. Of course, we know Twan and Tio was Olympic teammates and things of that nature, right? So he has that protection of not really having to fight Antoine. What's going to end up happening, Marky, is Antoine is going to end up having to fight Hitchens and Sabril. And I don't believe Tiafimo is going to fight neither one of them.
Me either.
And then ultimately, uh, I'm hoping that we get the Shakur Stevenson versus Tiafimo fight. Man, how does that play out? Let me know what you think about that fight.
I think Shakur cooks him. I don't think Tiafimo knows how to be an effective aggressor at all whatsoever. And yeah, I think he just absolutely destroys him. On top of the fact, Shakur is another southpaw. Like think about Tiafimo against southpaw dudes with southpaw styles. Sander Martin, Cook. Yeah, I thought Tiafimo clearly lost that fight. He got dropped twice. Jermaine Ortiz. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. I thought he won it. I thought it was a terrible performance for him nonetheless. Still, that's two performances we saw where Tio was not looking so hot against southpaws who are very elusive. So I think he gets cooked. I think he gets cooked by all these niggas, man. Shakur, Richardson Hitchens, Gary Antoine, Matthias. I mean, Devin Haney, Brian Norman, like Jerron Ennis at the time when he was calling him out, Bud Crawford. It's like Tio is like in a shark. He's like in shark infested water, and it's nowhere he can turn. It's nowhere he can run to. It's none of that. There's no Josh Taylors. It's no Lomachenkas. It's no Sander Martins. Would you be interested in a Sander Martin rematch? B3 for Tiafimo. Would you be interested in that?
At 140,
Yeah.
um, no, because who's gonna pay for it? It's gonna be an ESPN main event on Prime, or you know what I'm saying? It's like
ESPN
I
is
would
done.
prefer. Yeah, that's oh no, my apologies. A top rank on Prime or top rank on the Zone. You see what I'm saying? The main event. I'm like, I think T.O. has I'm gonna be honest with you. And I love these guys, and I don't really want to have to pit them against each other. But with Devin Haney fighting fighting Brian Norman Jr., I'm not really trying to see no guys fight tune-ups. If you have a mandatory challenge in the sport of boxing, I understand that you need to fight your mandatory. But outside of that, these top guys like a Teofimo Lopez, who has countless main events, he needs to be fighting unifications or big names. I do not want to see him fighting Sandor Martin. Absolutely not.
But why do you think it is, man? Like it's just weird to me. Like is Teal done? Is he done mentally? Like he is just not interested in fighting no tough fights no more. Like what is it? Like he was getting, but
But
from what
Tio,
I heard, he was
let
gonna
me
be
ask you this.
paid. He was hold on one thing. He was gonna be paid 8 figures to fight Devin Haney. Okay,
Yeah,
he was been bitching and crying about how I don't get the pay I should get. I should be the top, the whatever. You had the money on the line. Like why you didn't take it? So it's really hard to even find the rationale in there with
Mark,
this
you breaking
guy.
up a little bit. You're a little choppy. Um, and I don't think you moved anywhere. You was just coming in a little choppy.
No,
Even
can you hear me
um,
now?
I can hear you, but you coming in choppy. Jump out, jump back in real quick. Let me and let me speak to this really quick. Now with Teofimo Lopez, right? Okay, Marky, right back. All right,
To
Mark.
is a punk. Call it like it is.
Tio, yeah, Tio. Man, we want. I mean, the two-time lineal champ, right?
I guess.
He listen, man. I'm done with the games. Like
I
we
mean,
got to
let's be
see.
honest. Josh Taylor robbed Jack Catterall. He wasn't even supposed to be the champion.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Jack Catterall would up
And don't say
whoop
Josh robbed
TFT.
him. Just say top rank Bob Aaron possibly.
Respectfully,
Yeah.
let's not be fascist, B3 Leo. Let me speak how I want to speak. Don't try to censor and modify my speech, brother.
You trying to put it on Josh, man. Listen, Josh is just a fighter.
If I want to, I can. Why can't I?
You trying to
Shoot.
blame the white man. I gotta check you on that. But
Wow.
no, I'm just messing. But let me ask so let's go to 147, right? We see
Okay.
that Bruce Ennis has left the division. He's moving up to 154. Who is your top guy right now at 147? Do you have a top five at 147?
I mean, right now you'd have to, in my opinion, you'd have to say the top fighter at 147 is Brian Norman Jr. You'd have to say it once again by process of elimination. Stanley Onis just got beat, and Boots Ennis just who it was the lineal Ring Magazine two belt unified champion. He left the division, so that leaves you with Manny Pacquiao, Mario Barrios, and Brian Norman Jr. And I think Brian Norman can knock both of them out in the same night. Respectfully, like I'm somebody I said Brian Norman was not the best fighter in the division. I told his father that. Um, but I gotta admit it. Right now, he's number one. And when Devin Haney beats him, I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses.
So you have Devin Haney winning that Norman fight.
Exactly. And I'm not talking about excuses from Norman. I think they'll be fine. I'm talking about from you niggas. I don't want to hear no, because when before Devin Haney beat Regis, Regis was the talk of the town. Niggas was talking about, oh, T.O. Duck and Regis. Oh,
Mm.
nobody up there trying to fight Regis.
Tank ain't
Devin
one.
Haney go up there, beat him.
Mm.
Regis got the worst footwork ever. I mean, who Regis even fought in the last 2 years? You see the shit. So I don't want to hear no excuses when he beat Brian Norman.
Nah, me either. Now let me ask you this, because this was a question I heard today. Uh, Somebody said, "Oh yeah, Mr. Shelton." I was listening to the live last night. He just believes that Devin Haney is not an athletic fighter. Um, but I think he was coming to the part about him really not being dynamic. Now, in a comparison to a Tank Davis, to a Bud Crawford, I understand he doesn't have the punching power and he's not stopping guys. But do you feel like Devin Haney is a dynamic fighter in the sport?
Honestly, no, I don't. I think he's very limited in what he can do. I think he is a back-footed counterpuncher, and he fights like his style annoys me so much. He doesn't throw combinations. He throws ones and twos, and every once in a while he'll throw a lead uppercut. Like it's weird to me. Like Shakur, you saw Shakur against what's his name? What's his name? Zepeda. He was cooking him. Like he was flowing and throwing with combinations, threes and fours to the head, to the body. He was mixing it up. You see Bud Crawford mixing it up. You see Monster and Nui mixing it up. When Tank and or Tank Davis,
You trying to
when
bring
he gets you in
something.
that, can you hear me?
Yeah, you still choppy. I'm not sure. Hey, Thomas, let us know if Marky coming through choppy on your end or it's just me.
You
Appreciate you.
sound choppy to me. It's a lot
I
of
can sound
interference on your
choppy.
end.
Okay, then it's
Yeah.
me. Okay, then it's me. All right, go ahead. Keep cooking. Keep cooking.
Salute to my guy Chop Cheese Tommy from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Him and BVO were out there chop cheesing it up. Um, what was I just saying? God damn it! Before B3O broke my train of thought with his nonsense. You know, salute to my guy B3 though. What were we just talking about?
We were.
Bro,
I know.
I need to stop eating so many goddamn edibles. My train of like my short term memory is trash. B3. I'm not even gonna lie to you. B3. B3, can you hear me? Yeah, y'all were chop cheesing it up. That it was it was crazy. I jumped off the panel for 1 second yesterday, and y'all were talking about chopped cheeses. New York guys are crazy. Then this guy Tommy, a mouse walking around in the restaurant, they eating it, and Tommy is trying to act like that stuff is normal. That's not normal, dude. If it's one of them, it's a bunch of them back there. My God, B3 fell off the panel.
Mark, you can hear me?
I can. I
All
can.
right, cool. Yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Hey, listen, my phone overheated. I was sitting outside, so I had to switch to the other phone. But we back working. So yeah, so break that down. You were saying something about the youngest undisputed champion of all time in the men's side, in the four belt era, to be limited. That's what I heard.
Yeah. I think his style really annoys me. He throws ones and twos. Um, if he throws to the body, or if he throws an uppercut, it's always a lead, and it's always one punch, or he'll do a good job setting it up with the jab. If he throws a series of punches, it'll be his jab. He'll throw he'll throw three straight jabs. I mean, he does have a really good jab. I'll give him that. He has
Put
decent
some respect
footwork.
on the champ.
No, absolutely. He has a great jab. I will say that. And his straight right hand, uh, even though I think that that's the one weapon he has, I will say this. What did Bruce Lee say? I don't fear the man that knows 1,000 different kicks. I fear the man that practices one kick 1,000 times. So those two weapons are that you could say they're very dynamic for him. And they've won him a lot of fights, and I think they could win him this fight against Brian Norman if he fights within a game plan, moves laterally, and uses his reach to keep Brian Norman off of him. And I think he could win that fight from long range. But compare him to guys like Inui. Inui is athletic and dynamic. Like Inui's feet are crazy. He could get to, like, he can cross or excuse me, he can bridge the gap between him and his opponent in such a short amount of time, and it with such devastation. And his punch package and combinations are crazy. Like, you compare him to Devin Haney, B3, or compare Shakur to Devin Haney, or Usyk to Devin Haney. Like, these guys or Bivol to Devin Haney. These guys are athletic and dynamic, and they can do a whole bunch of things.
Now let me speak to this, man. When you're speaking about Devin Haney, and you comparing him to these other guys, for one, you're not looking at it from like a boxing perspective. Sometimes you're looking at it from something else. So Devin Haney has showed us multiple different styles in the sport of boxing. He showed us that he can attack the body off the front foot. He showed us he showed us he can counter off the back foot. He showed us that if he hurts his opponent, he can get him out of there. He's got a stoppage knockout a year over Antonio Moran, right? So you're comparing him to other fights that you've seen other guys in, but not that wasn't Devin Haney on that night against that fighter, right? So what if Devin Haney had a rehydration clause on a Barrios? He stopped Abdulayev. He broke a bone in his face. So I don't want to compare. You can't. The people they have a misconception about Devin Haney because he's not dominating his opposition. Now, let me say this: at the top of the sport is only going to be margins. So maybe some of the guys that you thinking looking so dynamic is not in there with guys at the top of the sport. Maybe you need to check their resume because if you see who Devin Haney is fighting, he's fighting champions. Uh, I mean, Jojo Diaz is still fighting. He's about to fight Prograis. He's not. I'm just all I'm saying is, but Jorge Linares has like over 60 fights. Uh, you
Give
know what I'm
me one
saying?
second, B3.
Gamboa, former Olympian, gold medalist. You see, went 12 with Tank. Like, so what people gotta understand is this, man. It's not what you think it is. That's all smoke and mirrors. Um, all these guys are dynamic. Or David Benavidez. Yes, they have flaws. They have imperfections, just like every other human being. They're not going to be perfect, but when you compete at the top of the sport, there's a dynamic element to that fighter. And Devin Haney has showed it. I mean, he's put it on display over the years. So I think we can all see that. But today the question is, and everybody who's in here, man, make sure y'all smash the like button. Uh, God bless y'all. Appreciate y'all. The Cash App is open, B3 Picks. I'm gonna say this. Do y'all expect to see Errol Spence Jr. in 2025? Do you expect to see Tank Davis back in 2025? We've seen Errol. He's been training. He's been posting footage. He's slim, ready to rock. Is he gonna come back? And would y'all want to see Errol at 160 or 154, or do y'all want Errol to retire? Man, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Now, our brother Tank Davis. We're praying for him. He does have a hearing that's going on tomorrow. For we understand he had the altercation, the Father's Day weekend altercation, dealing with the exchange of his children. Now, hopefully, this will get rectified, and he will avoid any further. Judicial process. So let's keep the brother in prayer. Some see what we gotta understand in life. We need help. A lot of people need assistance and help and support. They don't need prison and torment, right? So if Tank needs to take time away from boxing and not fight, that's his personal decision. I don't want it to be a judge deciding that, his fate. That's we as men, as as individuals, women as well. We want to kind of make our own decisions. We want to, not have anybody dictate. So we're praying for Tank, man, hoping that everything goes well tomorrow. Errol Spence, the retina injury, the car accident, the Bud fight. We haven't seen Errol Spence in 2 years. I'm asking where's Al Heyman? Al Heyman, uh, the prodigy, the Harvard graduate, the one that built up Premier Boxing Champions. We need to see Errol Spence Jr. back. Louis Decubas Jr. is conducting business on PBC behalf. Mario Barrios has fought Manny Pacquiao, something that the fans did not ask for. We did not ask for Mario Barrios, Manny Pacquiao. So we need to see what Louis DeCubas Jr. is going to do with PBC. Top Rank has left ESPN. The Puerto Rican superstar Xander Zayas has sent off ESPN in a fantastic way. Shout out to Thomas from the Bronx, New York stand up. Xander Zayas, they have a superstar. I mean, it's just what it is. He's a ticket seller. I think he's going to get bigger. He's only 22 years of age. So let's support Xander. And I want to see what Top Rank does in conjunction with Premier Boxing Champions. I feel like we all know that Top Rank does business with Prime in Japan markets with Inoue, and and there is when they were on ESPN Plus as well. But in Japan, they were doing Prime. So hopefully, like Bob was saying, he's going to be working with Premier Boxing Champions, and that would bring a great element to the sport. What matchups do y'all want to see? from PBC and Top Rank. Those are the matchups we need to be pushing. Xander versus Fondora. That's a matchup that we need. I want to ask my brother Thomas what matchup he wants for Xander next. Xander is calling for the champions. Bob and Top Rank are gonna want to milk Xander, but I won't be surprised if Xander if they take Xander to Puerto Rico. They probably take Xander all over the world. I don't think wants to get in there with the biggest and the best fighters. Xander is the type of kid. He's not gonna go all the way to a Fundora press conference for jokes and games. Xander Zayas is looking to put hands and feet on people. Now, so I'm looking for Top Rank to, as we would say, for lack of a better word, let their nuts hang. We need to see Espinoza versus Shushu Carrington. That's the fight. We need to see Nick Ball versus Angelo Leo. Those are the two fights that I want to see. And then Xander Fondora, but Xander called out Barkham, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see which one he gonna go with. Look, TD Sports Talk, our brother Thomas, salute to the Bronx. He said they're gonna take Xander to PR for his first title. I'm already knowing, family. I don't even got to be on the inside to know how to move a fighter. They gonna make he's bilingual. This kid is gonna be a superstar. Easy, easy. A handsome, well-rounded kid like this. He's gonna be he's a he's gonna be a generational talent. As we can see, because we already seen that the Charles Conwell, Jorge
I'm back.
Perez. Okay, salute to you, Mark. Let me cook a little bit more. The fact that Xander is over a Charles Conwell and a Jorge Perez, right? So all he really has to be able to do, I mean, he probably won't fight. Well, let me say this. Let's keep him away. Let's keep him away from Virgil and them guys right now. He's 22. Um, I
Man,
think
the hell with that.
no, we're not going.
Me-
We're not going to Virgil, right? You tripping right now? We're going to
Mexico versus Puerto Rico.
yeah.
That's
We
what I
we
wanted to see. Two young superstars on the brink. Whoever wins that fight is gonna
but
be a
see,
superstar. B3.
um, with all due respect, I love Virgil. Virgil's a great fighter, but let Virgil handle Boots. Virgil has Boots
Care about your
business.
love.
They're getting
Facts over feelings.
Xander is going to Puerto. We're going to Puerto Rico. That's where we going. We ain't worried about Virgil
Well,
Ortiz.
get him in there.
Let Virgil Ortiz go to Alcatraz with Boots and have a good time.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Nah, let me
So
be.
now, because the man a Mexican, he got to go to Alligator Alcatraz. That's what you're saying, B3?
No, that's
You're
where they wanted to
racist.
stage the fight, man. Salute the turkey. Shout out to his excellently Irish feet.
Wow.
Nah, shout out to all the guys, man. I would love to see them mix it up. But yeah, Xander is 22. We're not
Sugar
we
Ray Leonard
listen.
and Sugar Ray, or excuse me, Tommy Hearns was 22.
Yeah, respectfully, see that you comparing them to Tommy Hearns, you doing too much. And
I'm
we
saying,
watched
but
we
that's what
watching
we
the fight.
want, right? We want
No,
them young
no, no,
niggas
no, no, no,
mixing
no,
it
no,
up.
no, 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 no. Time out, time out, time out.
No, you time
We
out.
want to mix. No, I mean we working. We
Fine, fine. I
want we.
apologize.
No, uh, we want the best fights, but they have to be at the right time. Now, let me say this.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Xander is a one-time champion. This is a great feat. But we're not going to uh we're not looking at him and comparing him to like a Sugar Ray Leonard that went through it. That was like a Olympian gold medal. You know what I'm saying? You could That's a whole different era. This era, we still have to build our fighters. So we not
Man,
about to no, we about no 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 no. You doing? And then Boost can
Man, we
move up
got
and
we
get
got we got mother we got goddamn Monster and Nui, who was a champion, is getting
31.
fights, was mixing it up with a whole bunch of. That's not the goddamn point. I like to see people take a chance, go for greatness. If
Yeah,
Virgil Ortiz and what's the boy name Xander Zaya is getting there,
yeah.
whoever win that fight is gonna be come out a superstar. And
Agree.
that's just a plain and simple fact. Turkey
Agree.
is
But here's the thing, though. With all due respect, people don't want to hear this. Uh, Port Xander's already going to be a superstar. I mean, and that's all due respect. So he doesn't really need any of these guys, respectfully. And if I'm saying anything wrong, Thomas will correct me. But let's flip.
I
Let's
mean,
switch
Thomp's a
it.
Puerto Rican.
I'm already, but I'm just being. We just keeping it a stat. He don't. All he got to do is kick ass and do interviews and be on USA Today, because that's what he gonna be. We have, but they have a we. He's Wheaties eligible.
You incentivizing ducking. That's what it sounds like to me.
No, we just building our fighter.
You incentivizing
We
mediocrity.
just listen. No, no,
That's
no,
what it
no.
sounds like
This
to me.
this is what I really wanted to mention to you, Marky. See, the thing about it is we're playing a long game. See, when you have a young generational type of talent, like a Xander Zayas who's 22, who's fighting at 154 pounds, winning championships, right? You don't you don't get involved with like not worrying about
I'm
his
here
future,
to
his
dead
generational. Well, hold on, hold on,
but
hold
I'm
on. Let me just
listening.
say this. I know I'm being long winded. Let me just say this. We're gonna as a if I'm his management, if I'm working
Are
with
you
Xander because
good?
I'm on him. We have to build. We have to make sure that he has longevity in the sport. We're not throwing him away for no payday, because this kid he's already being mentioned with Cotto, Trinidad, and Benitez. He's the youngest champion in the sport, so it's no need to rush anything. I mean, he's already set for greatness. That's all I'm saying, Marky. But I think we'll get the good matchups in due time. Hey, listen, they don't want us to build our fighter. They don't want us to build our fighter. I'm gonna go back to what EJ was. He was asked about EJ Lubin. I'm gonna see if Marky's still in the building. We're gonna answer that. But Thomas said Xander is not a superstar yet. He's a Puerto Rican star and a star in some areas in the USA. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, of course. He'll cross over though, because what will happen is Xander has a machine behind him. And think about it. Top Ring doesn't have Shakur. They do have Keyshawn, so it's going to be really Abdullah, Keyshawn, Xander. Of course, they'll have Inouye, and then I mean Big Baby. So yeah, I mean Richard Torres. So like Xander is really going to be that. I feel like the marquee guy they're going to put money behind is Xander, as a 154 champion. I think, but definitely now. I'm not sure, Mark. You still with me? Marky may had to take a call. Now, D-Ray Live on the Drive says EJ versus Lubin. Now, that is a fight that's been mentioned. I think that's a good fight for Errol to come back to. I think that's a great payday for both guys. It's just Lubin is in a championship position. So I think if Lubin can beat Bakram and then EJ can come and fight Lubin for a championship, that would make the most sense. So I want to see Lubin Bakram, and then we'll see EJ versus the winner. Because EJ, if he's going to come back and compete in the sport, I think he's going to want to be multiple division champion. So if he can make 154, I think he's gonna do that. And EJ definitely been looking like he's fit. I know he's been working out and training. So we just got to see what Louis Decubas Jr. is going to do with the date, man. That's all. We just need to see when we get back in the ring. It needs to be ASAP. I mean, we looking like I mean, November's looking great. December's looking great. December's looking real open right now. December's looking real open right now. I'm thinking if we don't get Jamal, Charlo, Caleb Plant in December, I'm thinking we get EJ Keith Thurman. I mean, that's just what it is, y'all. That's just what it's going to be. Um, but shout out to the Sports Talk Network, the People's Network. Man, I appreciate everybody jumping in the live with me today. My brother Marky Dan, my brother D Free. Shout out to TD Sports Talk. Make sure y'all follow TD Sports Talk. D Ray Live on the drive in the building. Thank you. Appreciate you, my brother. Um, Marky, see, the thing about a guy like Marky Dan won't let you lead the show. And if it's people in here, we gonna rock out for sure. Now, Marky Dan.
Marky Dan gonna speak his facts. That's what you should know about Marky Dan.
All right, so let's look at it like this because I know I'm gonna get my cheese here regardless. But I'm thankful and I'm what I'm saying, I'm gonna get out on that road after we finish our work because we gotta cook and we gotta grow the channel. And I'm thankful for everybody to smash the like, everybody to show support through the Cash App as well as just viewership, man. I'm loving this. So, Marky Dan, my brother, let me ask you this. Um, D-Ray live on the drive as EJ versus Lubin. Do you want to see that fight? Is that a good fight for EJ next, or what are your thoughts?
I think Earl Spence would get violently put to sleep in that fight. I think he should go for. I think he should get a soft. I think he should probably pull Rolly up to 154. I think that would be a good comeback fight for him.
Marky, you actually kind of on to something there. I didn't think of that. That's actually a big fight. But I mean, EJ, that's just really the. But why would you cash out Rolly? I don't think PBC gonna cash out Rolly, but yeah, that's a good fight. That's that
I
is I
mean,
like that.
they cashed him out against Ryan. They let him go over there and fight Ryan. I don't think they believed he was gonna win that fight. I think they said risk versus reward.
But see, they seen the sparring though, man. See, the thing about it is, here's the situation. They agreed to that because that was an even playing field. Them dudes had months of testing. You see what I'm saying? The same thing that Ryan had with Tank. Ryan had months of testing. Devin, he had 8 weeks because they signed the fight in like February and then they fought in April. You know what I'm saying? So he did his old thing. The same thing that got Oscar Duarte clipped and had him looking crazy. He was like, "What?" Oscar Duarte was just fighting. Next thing you know, he get hit with a punch and his leg just give out on him. He
That's
was like,
it.
"What the?" So listen, and now we see the two fights that Ryan had extensive testing of. We see what happened with the Tank fight, and then
Yeah,
we see
he's
what
a
happened with
drug
Devin.
cheat.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like Floyd Mayweather is really the smartest man in the sport. Him and Al, they know exactly what they're doing.
Al Hamon.
Um, I mean, they're geniuses when it comes to boxing and business. Salute to the brother Floyd. He was on I seen him on a yacht, like a crazy yacht. So shout out, he was like in the France, like in some, what I'm saying, just chilling. So salute to the brother. When you put in hard work and you like our brother B in boxing news, he's going on vacation this week. He's a farmer. He always is on vacation with his family. When you work, when you put in that work on the job, you definitely deserve to feel the fruits of your labor, and take vacations and enjoy your family. Now, getting back to boxing, uh, is Tank Lamont? Is that still the biggest fight that the next best fight for Tank, in your opinion, Marky? Or who do you want to see Tank fight next? Is that still the fight that he has to come back to?
He should fight. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he should give Lamar his chance at redemption, and he should fight. Shakur Stevenson. That's the fight.
Yeah.
That's 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's a fact. Nah, that's 100% fact. Yeah. That I mean, Shakur Stevenson, he's a generational talent. I mean, after the Lamont Tank first fight, I do believe he can't go into a Shakur Stevenson fight without being 100%. I wouldn't want to see that situation. Um, nah, because as we can see, it's margins at the top level, and yeah, if you ain't on your P's and Q's, if you're not uh giving your 100% to the sport, then it's definitely not gonna go well for you. You know, it's you can almost kiss it goodbye. You get in there with a Lamont Roach and you're not 100%, he'll work you over respectfully. It's 12:19 on the East Coast, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody. We talked great boxing today. I'm gonna be back to do another live tomorrow. Salute to everybody that came in. My brother CDK, he came in the building. Salute to Tim Layton and McQueen. Um, thank y'all, man. I love all my brothers and I appreciate y'all. Listen, make sure y'all check us out on BVO Sports TV. Shout out to my brother. Also, my brother Thomas from the Bronx. Salute to TD Sports Talk. We in the building. They had a great, fantastic weekend this past weekend where they went to the Xander Zayas fight at MSG, the theater. Xander Zayas put on a good performance on on TV. Phenomenal performance. On TV, good performance. Jorge Perez, he looked gassed. He was not outworking Xander. Xander, the scorecards from the TV perspective were fine because we felt like Xander was doing the better of the work, and we pretty much had him winning 5 of the first 6 rounds. So 4 or 5 of the first 6 rounds. So after that, he was pretty much in the Jorge Perez. He didn't do enough to win the rounds, but at the fight, Thomas and BBO definitely spoke about how it looked closer. Xander, there was some clinching and things of that nature. But needless to say, it was a great event. Uh, a Puerto Rico star has been born. Xander Zayas, he'll be back in Puerto Rico. That's a smart move. Hopefully they have a good opponent. And then ultimately, I just want to say this, man. Hopefully Top Rank will lock in. I already have the zone, so we need to push Top Rank to the zone. But if they do a deal with Prime and PBC in conjunction, that'll be huge for boxing. That'll be almost unprecedented. Um, Matching up Brad Goodman and all the top tier people at Top Rank with Louis Decubas Jr. and Al Heyman and Bob working together in conjunction. So that would be great for boxing. That's something that we need to see. Make sure y'all continue to tap in with the Sports Talk Network. We need Errol Spence back. He's been training. Get Louis Decubas on the phone. We need to know where the date's at. We need to be back in December. And this your boy B3Picks, and I'm out. I'm gonna run the track. Y'all already know what time it is. I do got to get it mixed and mastered. But I'm gonna play it. Salute.
Three picks, big VA. Shout out London, NA, let's get it. She loved me for my sex appeal. I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, Bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She loved me for my sex appeal. So much game, I can get T.O. chill. October, we in Saudi still. Hold that 11 mil and run it up. Tank toe turkey to double his stuff. Any fight costs a few more bucks. Need a KO, just say so. A-side dirty ball, kick him to the flow. Breadman said hit him low. Ryan took Usher and he could've said no. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She loved me for my sex appeal. And I've been cashing it and flipping it like Katie. Out New England, still winning like Brady. To be great, Heidi, yeah, it's no baby. Shout out Sarah Bailey. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She loved me for my sex appeal. And I can rip a beat like a bomb. She pretty, petite, in a thong. Everything she do sweet like the bomb. She served me Dawn. No pimp, Juan. Been getting bread, non. I always ball, Bron. Never leaving the UK, Hassan. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She loved me for my sex appeal. She loved me for my sex appeal. Yeah, picks.
Man, salute to the family. Appreciate everybody that tapped in with me. Thank you. God bless y'all. Have a great day. We will be back tomorrow. Peace.